In October 2021, the Chuddlemen, Ross, Brian, and Sam, convened at a cabin in the woods to start a podcast. Deep in the basement, they discovered the Goo Book. Unfortunately, they had made the mistake of muttering the incantation inside. Now cast into the Chuddleverse and trapped in a time loop, they are the crypt keepers of the Goo Gods, forced to ask and answer the same questions about a different horror movie every episode. This episode, they are chuddling.
Alien³. Welcome to a brand new broadcast of Chuddle the Pod, the only interdimensional horror movie club trapped in a time loop. For this sacrifice, we are offering 1992's Alien³ to all of those beautiful gods up there, out there, and all around us, because they love us so much when we have the Horror Bandwagon on. Thanks for joining us. Ross isn't here. He is joined some sort of like brotherhood. He shaved his head and he's off on another planet doing his new thing now.
That's
but Sam,
right.
You heard his beautiful voice. He is here hanging out with us. Welcome.
Thank you. So
You're
good
welcome.
to be here. Where else would I be?
I
guess joining some brotherhood in a weird room that we have.
He sure tried to get us to come along with him. And since we are talking aliens, you know we're hanging out with our franchise besties, Cody and Sergio from the Horror Bandwagon.
Hello.
Hey.
Ooh.
Actually, no, we're depressed today.
Oh, what
we are
happened?
coming in dressed in black.
Because we're also part of the brotherhood.
No, because we're saying goodbye to Chuddle. This is our last
It
Chuddle.
is.
Yes,
With you
It
guys.
is.
but
Forever. No,
it's and name
You'll be
only, because it seems we might have actually pleased all these beautiful gods, and I think
That's
we're
right.
being released from the time loop after this episode
Mm-hmm.
and back into the real world
yeah.
to the original
That's what they
podcast
say.
we wanted to start all along, students of horror.
That's right. So if you see Students of Horror in your feed and you're like, what's this? It's Chuddle the Pod, but with a brand new name
We
and a
put
brand
a-
new game. Actually, the same game. It's pretty much the same show, just a
It's a little
same
spit
format
shine.
at least.
We polished up
Yeah.
the turd a little.
Simplified.
Except when we come back, our voices will be higher pitched.
Ooh.
Don't ask why.
Don't
It's
ask
fine.
why. It's the, well, you'll do your real voices when you come back, right?
Yes, exactly.
So thanks so much for joining us for Alien³ and as we continue on the alien world. Before we continue, we got to thank our acolytes, the patrons whose offerings sustain the crypt and keep the signal strong for just $3 a month. If you want to support us in other ways, you can subscribe, rate, review, comment, and share this show. You know we appreciate everything you do for us. So that gets all club members present. The acolytes have been avowed. So let's crack open that Goo Book and officially begin tonight's meeting.
Chuddle Aspertus.
Give me that goo. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. Every single time, I'm like icked out by myself. Like I'm trying to tell past me, like, don't go. Oh yeah.
Well, you didn't do it like that. That was me.
To be
combining
fair, Brian
many
pieced
things.
that together. Yeah.
Exactly. But you're still telling yourself not to
Okay.
do that. Oh, yeah. So let's go to
do
the
it.
log line of Alien³ Returning from LV-426, Ellen Ripley crash lands on the maximum security prison Fiorina 161, where she discovers that she has unwittingly brought along an unwelcome visitor. Now, I should also mention that kind of, wraps up the movie or the long line of the movie. We're going to be kind of talking because the assembly cut, there's the theatrical cut.
That's right.
Mhm.
We'll talk about both of them heavily because they do vary a lot of things in the story. And it's kind of a big
This is
part.
the second time we had to watch a cut.
But like, and I was thinking about
Did
it
you
'cause,
watch
like,
both cuts?
No,
Which cut
we
did you
watched
watch? Assembly?
Aliens, the
No.
director's cut.
Right.
But for this movie, yes, we did watch both.
Okay.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did watch both. Yeah.
And like, I feel like with the Aliens director cut, you get a little bit more exposition. You obviously learn a bit more plot points, but it doesn't like drastically change a lot of stuff. Where this
Right.
changes a lot.
It's like
It just
two
makes
different movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
so regardless of what movie you've seen, or hopefully you all out there have seen both, you'll know why we're kind of switching between the two. Let's talk about some taglines for Alien 3. This one might get you. In 1979, we discovered in space, no one can hear you scream.
Mhm.
In 1992, we will discover on Earth, everyone can hear you scream.
Oh, come on.
So this is going to go back to the little bit of the trivia that'll come up before
Oh
they
my God.
even had like the script really written or anything like that. They knew they were going to do this, and they put out like promo stuff for it, and they put out a promo tagline, and it was supposed to take
With
place
that.
on Earth. So they
Got
yeah.
it.
Obviously,
I mean, that's the right way to do it, right? You start with the tagline and you work your way back from there.
wait, we can't get Earth. Earth doesn't want us. All right, let's move
shoot.
off planet. Shoot, we got to change a lot.
In 1979, it came from within. In 1986, it was gone forever. In 1992, our worst fears have come true. It's back.
Oh, you know what? They got me with the "it's back."
You thought you were out, but then you were back.
It's back. They pull me back
Uh-huh.
That is truly awful.
That one's even worse. I'd rather see the Earth one and be very confused when I go into the movie. How about just this? It's back.
Oh, perfect.
Of the three, that's the
Need
best.
we say more?
Our next tagline here: "The bitch is back," which
Wait,
is
who we
I
talking
guess they
about?
would be
If-
calling Ripley the bitch.
Oh,
Ripley, right? Yeah, because
'Cause
if the
the Queen's
queen
not
was back,
back,
then
really.
it'd be right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like who we talking about here?
Well, how about this? Start running again. The bitch is back.
Wait.
No.
So that definitely makes it seem like it's the queen.
Oh
Why
yeah.
would you run from? Yeah. If it was Ripley, it would say that bitch is back.
Yeah, there's some really, really not good ones.
Oh, well, yeah. It is the start of the descent.
Wow.
All right. What's our next one? This time, it's hiding in the most terrifying place of all.
I mean, sure.
that's it?
I'm not going to tell you where.
Inside, I mean,
my
it's
God.
doing everything it normally
Two
does.
different animals, potentially.
Oh.
But our worst fears have come true. It's back.
Man, these are bad. All right. Finally, 3 times the suspense, 3 times the danger, 3 times the terror.
Not
I
true.
believe his one is on the poster, and I think is the strongest out of all of those, just because
It's
you know.
also mathematically inaccurate. This is not 3 alien. It is alien cubed. So it is
That's true.
alien to the power of 3.
Exponentially.
Yes.
It was literally decided to look like that because it was cool. Like they weren't thinking
Yeah.
about it anyway. Like, how do we make the 3 cool?
They should have.
Speaking of who made it,
Who forged this tribute for the goo gods?
this movie was directed by David Fincher, screenplay by David Giller, Walter Hill, and Larry Ferguson, with a story by Vincent Ward. David Fincher, you might know him from the Netflix series Mindhunter, Zodiac, Panic Room, Fight Club, Seven are all Fincher movies. So he's got
Oh,
some
wow.
heavy hitters that are
Fincher's
very
an OG.
good.
Oh, we're gonna be so
Oh,
embarrassed.
yes.
And our reaction, we were
Absolutely.
like, "Why does David Fincher sound so familiar?"
Oh, you're
Yeah,
gonna get
I'm a big fan of a lot of his work.
Mhm.
This was his first movie, right? I believe. I
Wow.
believe it was his first movie.
Correct. And we'll get into the
And
details
it's,
of it. But
I understand he had a lot of
Yes.
troubles in production.
Yikes.
But yeah, Fight Club. We did there's a patron episode we covered Fight Club. If any patrons haven't heard that or want to check it out, If-
that
if
must
you
have
wanna
been
be a
my other
patron in here.
personality because I do not remember.
Oh, absolutely. It was one of our non-horror ones. You don't
Sure.
remember? I very much remember.
Oh my god!
Zodiac, great movie. Seven, great
Mhm.
movie.
Mindhunter, the series that was unfortunately ended all too soon before it was finished.
Yeah, it got 2 seasons, right? I think.
Sure did.
It was a good show too. I really enjoyed it.
It was a great show. Super fun. Serial killers and shit. Up next, David Giller. He did, there was a story by, he did Alien, but that's all I really have here.
And then, of course, it's starring Sigourney Weaver, who we have become quite familiar with as we've been going through this franchise. So horror-wise, Alien movies and the first 2 Ghostbusters movies.
Charles S. Dutton was Dylan. He was in The Monkey's Paw, season 1, 2 episodes of American Horror Story. Legion, Secret Window, Gothica, and Mimic. I remember always liking Mimic when I was young.
He was in Secret Window. We just saw that for our Patreon pick. I think he played the guy. Remember he got killed in the backseat? Sorry. Spoiler alert.
That's okay.
Then we have Charles Dance as Clemens. And we've seen him in Frankenstein, The First Omen, Godzilla King of Monsters, and Underworld Blood Wars.
The First Omen.
The famous Blood Wars.
The character of Golic was Paul McGann, and I did not recognize him, but he played the 8th Doctor from the American Doctor Who movie.
Wow. I did not realize that either.
Wow. I had no idea. And he's done like a lot of other shit, but like not too much horror stuff. He has a lot of actually Doctor Who credits playing other doctors on like audio stories and stuff like that. But yeah, that's totally who that was.
Wow.
Now, a lot of these characters here had much bigger and different roles between the assembly cut and the theatrical cut. So Golic is a much bigger character in the assembly cut as opposed to theatrical cut. He doesn't have much. So I believe Paul McGann would make like joke, like he's like, I was like the highest paying extra in a movie because like originally he was doing a bunch of shit.
Cut down so much in the theatrical.
I have a quick question, and I'm being vulnerable right now, depending on how this goes. Why do they call it the assembly cut?
It basically, when the release, I believe it was when the quadrilogy, the special, like the 4 movies coming out together. Yeah, it's the weird, crazy made up word they did. But they were able to get, for definitely the first 2, the directors to come back and do the director's cut and assemble it how they wanted to. David Fincher didn't want anything to do with it. They said they extended an olive branch out to him to see if he wanted to come back and put together what he could of his cut. But he said no. So this is like, based on I think I have the more details in the IMDb, but basically it's one of the earliest cuts or best cuts that they could get from what they think based on what his vision or their vision was. So it's an assembly cut of it.
I'm so fucking mad at that movie. No way.
Yeah, he fucking hates it.
Brian Glover as Andrews, who is in Snow White, A Tale of Terror, and An American Werewolf in London. Stone Cold classic. We
got Ralph Brown, who played A.A. Ron. He was in Exorcist the Beginning. So that was like one of those
classic. Another classic.
And also Danny Webb, who played Morris. Christopher John Fields, who's Rains. He was in Zodiac.
Oh, sure.
Oh, they got back together.
Yeah.
We got Holt McElhaney as Junior, also in Mindhunter, which, they got back together again. And he's in Creepshow 2. We also have Lance Henriksen as Bishop 2.
That's what he's credited as.
And he's in...
We've talked about he's in a plethora of shit.
Yeah. Ton of stuff. Yeah. Check out Pumpkinhead. We did an episode on that.
Check out Aliens. Christopher Fairbank was Murphy. He came from he was also in Fifth Element. Carl Chase as Frank was in the 99 version of The Mummy. And Leon Herbert as Boggs was in Scanners. And then the rest of the people, let Sam run them out here, didn't really have any other horror credits.
Okay.
That's right. We got Vincenzo Nicoli as Jude, Pete Postlethwaite as David, Paul Brennan as Troy, Clive Mantle as Clive, Peter Guinness as Gregor, Diobia Opare as Arthur, Phil Davis as Kevin, and Niall Buggy as Eric.
Woo, good job.
Rounds them out.
First question we ask here is it for beginners? And I don't see, we run into this problem often. You know, third movie, you should see the other stuff, but it very well could be. I don't think anything in it is terribly bad for a beginner.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Nothing like overly like graphic or terrifying.
Well, I mean, one
It dips your
scene
toes
in one
into
cut
gore.
Yes.
is a tough watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I say, yeah, for the most part, I think it's beginner.
And what subgenres does this fit into? We've talked about it before, but it's still the alien monster sci-fi action world.
Sure.
Religious prison,
yeah,
prison breakout kind of stories.
And the best advice you could give to someone going into this movie is, I mean, realistically, see the other two beforehand and don't judge Alien franchise based off of this.
Oh yeah.
And I would say if you've seen the other two and you're going into this, don't expect it to be as good. I don't think it's bad, but it's a big step down from the first two.
It's definitely a way to be like, hey, you're expecting a whole different vibe, whole different story as compared to the first two, which feel aesthetically like hold their own, but still in the same realm, kind of.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah. And this is, they're like, we're really going to change things up.
Yeah.
Especially aesthetically.
Now, the other big thing to say to someone before going into a movie might be some trigger warnings. And I'd say, if anything, you got the slight body horror. You do have animal death, depending on which cut you watch. It depends on what kind of animal death you get.
It's true.
Theatrical cut, I would say more people are probably sensitive to
Yeah.
than the assembly.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I feel like there was like more blood in general in that one.
I think so.
Nastier.
Nastier. And then, would you say our god of gore, Ugat Malou, is satisfied with Alien 3? I think he's not like satisfied, but he's not pissed that he's like, okay, I see what you're doing here, but I want more.
It's like, that was a nice starter.
Appetizer.
Yeah, exactly.
He wets his whistle with Alien 3, and then that sounds about right. That's why we get away from the gods.
What does that smell?
Do you remember if you smelled anything funny?
Ugh, what's that smell again?
Obviously, it arrived spoiled.
It isn't good. It's spoiled.
A lot of trivia, a lot of wordy trivia.
Let's go.
So we'll get through. I kind of cut it down as best as I could based on a lot of pages. At one point, David Fincher was denied permission by the film's producers to shoot a crucial scene in the infirmary between Ripley and the alien, where the latter menacingly closes in on Ripley. The kind of famous scene. Against orders, Fincher grabbed Sigourney Weaver a camera and shot the scene anyway. The scene not only appears in the final cut, but it was also featured prominently in trailers, and many regard it as the movie's most iconic shot. It certainly is. Like, it's just iconic across the whole franchise.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's probably the one thing that I like was familiar when I saw. I was like, oh yeah, I know that from
that's where
other
it is.
pictures.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, it's literally the shot where Ripley is there and the alien she's like, wincing away from it, up against the wall, and it comes in and you're like,
her.
Gives it little mouth and is super drippy. It's like that classic shot that a lot of people think of when they think of Alien and Ripley together.
Right. Which is funny because it's from this one.
Exactly.
And almost didn't happen. No wonder he had such a hard time.
Yeah.
Golly.
Thank God.
The film's production process was so chaotic and its reception by fans and critics so unfavorable that it nearly ended David Fincher's career before he had a chance to gain momentum as a director. But two things ended up saving Fincher from permanent movie jail. The first thing was that Sigourney Weaver publicly and often angrily sided with Fincher against 20th Century Fox, telling journalists that the studio had made decisions that resulted in an impossible situation for the young director, and he would have an excellent career if given further chances. The other thing was that producer Arnold Kopelson knew and didn't respect the management at Fox, and that was part of the process where he ultimately offered Fincher a new project a few years later. That project was Seven, and its massive success reignited Fincher's career, making him one of the most respected directors of his time.
That's rough.
Yeah.
So, shoot.
Wow.
There's a lot of rough shit.
Good for you, Sigourney.
Yeah.
Honestly.
She's a queen both on movies and in life.
Mm-hmm. Everything I hear about her in the behind the scenes stuff and read about, she sticks up for a lot of people. She, stuck up for the crew against James Cameron in the last one when he was getting too picky.
Yeah.
I remember we mentioned something like that. She's like, calm down. we'll get there.
Right. Which is funny because David Fincher has become famous for like take after take after take after take. You got to do it like 40 times.
He was, I think, doing it still here in this movie.
In his first one.
There's a lot of takes apparently.
Yeah.
First, David Fincher disowned the film. Staying in an interview with The Guardian, I had to work on it for 2 years, got fired off it 3 times, and I had to fight for every single thing.
Jeez.
No one hated it more than me. To this day, no one hates it more than me. He cited constant studio interference during production and actually walked out when the studio rejected his initial cut and ordered extensive reshoots. He was not involved in the final cut, but his initial rough cut later became the basis for the assembly cut, longer version of the movie that was first released on DVD in 2003 and then the Blu-rays in 2010. Fincher was asked to work on the assembly cut, but he says he considered it, but eventually decided against it, giving the supervising producer Charles de la Huizarrica his blessing as long as it was not called a director's cut. And he still, and in regards to the new version, he states that he has no comments on it as he hasn't seen it. So,
oh wow!
It's like,
you know what?
Listen, I'm never gonna fuck with anything in the Alien universe again.
Man, I wonder how he feels that it has like this resurgence, just like in his face within the last few years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I would hope he sees that people appreciate what he was able to deliver with everything going on and kind of
considering the circumstances.
Yeah, exactly.
While offset, Sigourney Weaver had to wear a wig as her then 2-year-old daughter Charlotte didn't like to see her mother bald.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's fun.
A little fun.
Honest kids.
One. $7 million had been spent on sets that were never used thanks to the ever-changing script before filming had even started. With the deadline looming and the studio getting anxious to get things back under their control, they would call writer Rex Pickett almost daily with constant demands for changes. It got to the point whenever director David Fincher wanted to discuss Pickett's progress on the script, he would let the phone ring twice, hang up and call again so that Pickett knew it was Fincher, not the studio harassing him.
Whoa.
Even throughout filming, the script was constantly being rewritten with new versions faxed to the studio on a near daily basis. Cast and crew often filmed a scene and learned the next day that it had already been scrapped.
How that sounds.
There's so many little interesting stories
difficult.
like that. Yeah.
I would be frustrated too.
Yeah, very productive environment.
Yeah. Crazy. And I guess with a first-time director too, the studio probably felt they had more power to like boss them around.
Oh, sure.
What they want
For sure.
and stuff.
I feel like it never works out well when the company just gets involved so
like
much.
that. Yeah,
You know,
real
maybe-
Wayland Yutani.
Oh,
It's a fucking huge meta allegory here. Like,
Holy
because the
shit.
company
Mhm.
involves so much, of course it got fucked up.
Yeah.
It is 3 banger directors to start the franchise, though. That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. The original Alien director, Sir Ridley Scott, turned down the chance to direct. Scott and later Rennie Harlan both thought the third film should explore the origin of the xenomorph species. This concept was deemed too expensive by David Giler and Walter Hill, since most special effects work at the time had to be done practically instead of by computer-generated images. So Scott declined to return, and Harlan later quit the film because he found alternative concepts too repetitive. Scott ultimately got his wish with the movies Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
So then we go back to those. Michael Biehn stated in an interview that he was deeply hurt that he wasn't asked to return as Corporal Dwayne Hicks, his character from Aliens.
Oh,
but even
he was
more so
available?
yeah.
Right? I assumed he couldn't do it.
Same.
Yeah, even more so that the film opened with Hicks immediately being killed off after escaping with the other survivors at the end of the previous movie. He stated that he didn't mind Hicks dying per se, but objected to the careless way that they did it in this film. He therefore refused the studio's permission to use a dummy of a corpse in his likeness, but allowed them to use his photograph. Carrie Henn, on the other hand, was more accepting of her character, Newt's death, simply stating, life goes on.
I'm a kid.
Not for me. It was hard. Okay. Watching that.
Plus, this was like 6 years later. What were they going to...
Oh, yeah, that's
Right.
true.
For her, it makes a little more sense. Although the way they do it is so like heartless with both of them.
Yeah.
It
brutal.
broke
Yeah,
my
I'm
heart
sure.
because especially just like how she wakes up and finds all this out just like that.
Mhm.
I can't believe they did that. Sometimes I'll be
Messed
like,
up.
that's bold if they did it right, but
They didn't do it right here.
Lance Henriksen only agreed to reprise his role as Bishop as a personal favor to Walter Hill. To this day, Henriksen has said that he dislikes the film for its nihilistic themes, although he had, quote, a lot of fun, unquote, making it.
Yeah. It's like, I really hate this film, but I had a lot of fun.
it was great. Good time.
I don't like what it's about, but it was a fun shoot.
Hey.
Fincher later stated that the constant studio interference made the film stray so far from his vision that the only way to make a director's cut would be to burn the entire negative and start over. He also admitted that when in 1992 LA riots started to get close to the lab where the film's negatives have been developed and stored, he hoped that the entire building would burn to the ground and the film with it.
Oh my God.
I kind of love the vitriol he has for this.
Yeah, it is kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm into it.
I mean, it makes sense because this was possibly a career-ending thing for him.
Right.
In the moment,
Yeah.
you're like, what the fuck? Like, I can't do anything now. And you said it wasn't until several years later where he broke through out of that.
Yeah, with seven. Yeah.
Jeez.
It just really sounds like such a nightmare. Like I don't know how you create a cohesive story when it's just constant like changes, rewrites.
Oh my god, I can't. The spending $7 million on sets that never even got shot on is really
Wild.
Yeah.
striking. I think it says a lot.
So like the original idea, one of the original after like the Earth idea, I think, is that this was supposed to be like this entire wooden planet, and these were not prisoners, but they were more specifically monks that were on this planet. That was then probably still follow a lot of the same shit, but like,
yeah,
I guess more religious or something weird. Even that sounds like not that interesting to me.
No,
I mean, I could
agree.
see you like going in a different, like, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves in the discussion. I could see you taking that concept and pulling it out into a movie that could be really good. But I agree that it's like, it's not the most compelling idea for a story.
Yeah. And a wooden planet still makes it sound like it's going to be a very tan, brown hued movie.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that gets a little rough to just be living in for so long, I feel like.
Yeah.
Warm.
Well, some of this was just
warm is all cozy. It makes me want to go to sleep. Like
some of this movie was very like that. Just like
that's what this movie it is. 100%, except for when we get little smidges of that cool futuristic retro space stuff. That I've loved so much in the first movies.
At around 10 minutes, Dr. Clemens' line about Fury 161 being one of Weyland-Yutani's backwater prison planets marks the first time that the name Weyland-Yutani is spoken out loud in the series. It had appeared on computer screens and props in the previous two films, but characters always referred to it as the company in dialogue.
Interesting. I didn't
Because
realize
it's
that.
our debut.
Yeah.
Spoken aloud.
Another thing here. Film is believed to be set. Okay. This is the thing we were kind of discussing. We did a little watch along. You can, the audio for that will be on our Patreon for people. But we were like, when does this take place? within the time frame. We all kind of thought this was, again, decades or whatever, however many years later, like we get that jump from the first two. This movie's only supposed to be set days or just weeks after the events of Aliens in the year 2179.
Oh my God.
Like, I guess that makes sense.
With how fast the alien everything.
Yeah, understanding like what precedes the movie that we're kind of shown in flashes
in the beginning.
At the beginning, like that wouldn't have waited 40 years to happen like it did when it was just Ripley like drifting through space.
Oh, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things that make, because we had a question about like Bishop at the end of the movie and all that kind of stuff, but we can talk about that a little bit later if it comes back up again. I'll just finish up. We got two more real quick. Stan Winston was asked to work on this film but was unavailable. He instead recommended Tom Woodruff Jr. and Alec Gillis, two former workers of his studio who just started their own company, Amalgamated Dynamics. So that's who did all the special effects for this movie.
Okay.
And the Blu-ray edition of the Alien Quadrilogy box set, which is the first 4 movies, has an unusual feature. When you eject the Blu-ray from your player, it leaves a Weyland-Yutani Building Better Worlds advertisement on the TV screen. Screen returns to normal if you insert or something, another disc. And advertisements are in different colors for every movie. But I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
a lot of fun.
I like that.
I do like that.
With all that trivia out of the way, we can get into a quick recap of the movie and just get into the discussion of it all. So I think we'll go ahead, stick our hands into the bucket, pull our hands out. Oh, it's sticking on my hands.
Brown.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about the theatrical cut, and then I'll kind of talk a little bit about, I think, the assembly cut and what those are differences. And then we can just start talking about all the aspects of the movie. But in the theatrical cut of Alien 3, the story begins with the crash landing of an escape pod on the prison planet Fiorina 161. The crash immediately kills Newton Hicks, leaving Ripley as a sole survivor among a population of these male inmates who have turned into this fundamentalist religion. They're all bald and incels.
By definition.
Unknown to the prisoners. Yeah. A facehugger also survived the crash, and this is where it infects a dog. So this is what we were talking about, that big trigger warning. Then ultimately that gives birth to the runner xenomorph, as it's been known to be called, and that begins killing the unarmed residents of the facility. As Ripley assists the inmates in hunting the creature, she discovers through a medical scan that she is gestating an alien queen embryo. And this kind of explains why the xenomorph only kind of gave up and wanted to give her a little smooch and ran away as opposed to killing her. Had to let that thing gestate. With no traditional weapons available, the survivors lure the alien into the prisoner's foundry. They douse the creature in molten lead, and when it emerges, Ripley triggers the fire sprinklers. The resulting thermal shock causes the xenomorph's exterior to shatter, killing it. And then we get the whole conclusion of the movie with the Weyland-Yutani team coming, led by someone who claims to be the original Bishop. They try to convince Ripley to surrender so they can surgically remove the embryo and, destroy it. But she's like, I don't fucking trust you. This is going to be used as a weapon. I know you guys. So she throws herself into the facility's giant furnace. And in this cut of the film, because it's different than the assembly, the queen bursts from her chest right as she's falling in. She holds the creature into her chest as they both perish into the fire. So starting from, I guess, the back end on it, in the assembly cut, the queen does not burst out of her chest. And that's what Sigourney Weaver really wanted to happen as well, to be like this more like, it wasn't in a super imminent thing that the queen was coming and that she knew she had to do this. And it was a more, I guess, I don't want to say noble, but like the thing she knew she had to do and get it done, and didn't want like the final thing of Ripley also to be like this thing. So that's why she tries to really react when it bursts out in the
I actually think
cut.
I like the bursting out. Maybe it's just because of what I'm used to. I only saw the assembled cut for the first time recently, and I do prefer that cut, but there's something about her like holding the alien there to not get away as she's falling. I've always kind of liked.
And I'm kind of on your side here too, Sam, that like when we watched, because we watched the assembly cut first and then the theatrical cut after, but pretty close together. I also like I kind of like the narrative of it a little better, that it's like I mean, she's still victorious over the xenomorph either way, but I kind of like that, like Ripley's last act is like forcing the queen, even when it's trying to get away, to like fall in and take her out, like truly.
Right.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It's more cinematic.
I do like
Certainly.
the visual of her like holding the alien. To me, it kind of just feels like studio being like, well, we need to see the alien one more time.
And
So,
it has to come out of somebody's chest.
Let her pop out, and then maybe they can survive because we can make another movie after this. That's what it feels like. So like the assembly cut I like because it was very emotional. It doesn't break that emotion by having the alien just pop out. And I think I feel like she really succeeds by doing it before anything happens. You know, like
it wasn't something that needed to happen. We don't like clearly when you see the queen bust out, it's like, oh, she definitely needed to jump in there to kill it.
Right.
Yeah. This was.
Yeah. It's almost like this is for dumb audiences who don't get what's going on type of thing.
It was like, oh no, there's still aliens, guys.
But I do like she made the conscious decision in the bursting scene was to have a more stoic face, and she's like, I don't want Ripley to be going out and be like screaming and like making a weird face as it's like it's popping out of her.
Yeah.
The assembly cut also features much longer opening sequence, like much longer with like all these ox and all this kind of crazy shit, showing Ripley's unconscious body washing up on the beach before being found.
The doctor finding her. Yeah.
I was
Spends
so
more time
confused.
establishing the prisoners' religious cultures, explaining that the inmates' shaved heads are due to the planet's aggressive lice, which is
I
guess I kind of like that.
I like that.
It's a little gross factor for me to be like, yeah.
I mean, it's gross there. And then I think we mentioned this before a few
to know
times.
some of the inmates more.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so that's like a huge subplot of the assembly cut is knowing
The inmates,
the prisoners, the inmates. It's the word I was losing. Sorry.
I will say though, in both cuts, I see a bunch of bald-headed men just walking around. I'm like, who is that? Wait, who is?
Oh, sure.
Who is that? There's certain people that I remember their faces and like they show up more often, but there were just so many of them running around.
One of the big ones is there's the inmate Garlic, which we mentioned, which we kept thinking, like, is his name Garlic?
We thought the same thing.
I was so
because he's gross. I thought he was just like eating garlic at one point. But it's Golic, Golic. So he's the mentally unstable inmate, and he becomes obsessed with the dragon, which is what he calls the alien. He eventually kills a guard to release the alien from its trap. There's this whole subplot of trapping the alien in this room that's inescapable. That's not in the theatrical as well.
Yeah, they take it all out.
And so he has this whole side story of releasing the alien. That's where he ultimately gets killed, but I think in the theatrical he just kind of disappears from the story. There's a lot of characters that just get blown up and disappeared from the story in the theatrical cut, and just there's not much done with it.
Action's hard to follow at certain points.
Yeah. And then
I
the other
agree.
big thing is what the alien is born from. As we mentioned, the theatrical cut comes from a dog, which is really rough, to a dead ox named Babe, apparently, which is more tolerable in my opinion anyways, because it's already dead ox.
Yeah, it was already dead.
Well, and people don't have that kind of relationship with oxes, even if it were alive, that you have with dogs. People have
say that to Paul Bunyan.
Well, they did name him Babe,
right? And then I didn't realize it, but because there is in that scene they hold up as like, what's this thing? The face hugger, and that is supposed to be like a queen variant face hugger. It has slightly different. It's bigger than a normal face hugger and has like webbing between its like phalanges, and I don't know. There's some other stuff going on. But yeah, right.
Phalanges.
I love that word.
I mean, I did think it was interesting how the like form of the alien that pops out is like sort of related to the form of the like creature that it's implanted in. I thought that was an interesting addition to the lore, that I'm wondering if we explore this a little bit further in future movies. I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta find out. I agree. It's interesting in concept. I don't think it looks very good, but I like they tried.
It honestly reminded me, because I didn't think that the animation looked awesome. It reminded me of like the robot dogs that you see today that just roll around.
Oh yeah, sure.
So we'll probably get into more differences as we go on, but getting into just general discussion of this movie, our basic premise, we get Ripley now crash landing on the planet a couple days, couple weeks after Aliens happens. And she is on this planet of ex-prisoner, weird incel dudes. And an alien has not only made its way onto the planet, but is one growing inside of her as well. And I think there's, I don't know. It's like, I think that basic premise kind of it works. I mean, for an alien movie, I just think we didn't necessarily put it on an interesting enough looking planet or interesting enough looking stuff and get that fleshed out enough.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like they were just like changing things for the sake of having a different thing for the movie, but that we didn't change much about the underlying concept in ways that like really matter and would have made it an interesting movie. Like, it's just more people who don't believe Ripley at first and then just fodder to be killed by the alien.
Yeah.
It's really just a changed color palette, the 90s version.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
90s grunge.
I kind of
like when Metallica cut off their hair.
I kind of like the shots of the assembly cut that we saw of the and the people outside and working. That kind of felt cool. I thought we were going to like explore that a little bit, but then we were just stuck in this prison for so long, and it just felt there was color, but it was very just like grays, brown, but like piss brown. Like you're scared that it's like that color piss. So like so
just ran a marathon.
It just didn't look appealing. I think this really does. I think Sigourney Weaver carries this movie on her shoulders. Like, her performance, I think, is still top tier. So but like the concept that we started off with this was just very bland to me. And it was also hard to kind of get on board. I was feeling up and down during the whole movie because these characters have done the worst of the worst. And I know that they're trying to like challenge the audience to be like, hey, what do you feel about these characters? They're so mean to Ripley. And I just like, I couldn't get on board because sometimes you didn't trust them, but then also sometimes you feel bad for them. So I'm in like the middle about how they handled that.
Yeah, well, crash landing on a planet where every human on there is a threat to you, it could be an interesting concept, but really it's never really a problem except for one part. And then she gets saved. Yeah. And I also don't buy that, a men's prison, they decide to be celibate. We know that is not what happens in prisons. They don't just stop having sex. They just be having sex with each other.
I was thinking that too at some point. I was like, wow, they're really not about Sigourney here, which I guess makes sense. But I'm like, why don't y'all get together?
I think you either need to make them all still current prisoners to some extent or something like that.
Sure. Or like actually scary threats to her, like legitimately the whole time.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, or just make it like I feel like those characters weren't that well developed or designed for what could be interesting, threat to Ripley, as we keep saying. I think one of the things that could have been interesting too is like we get this opening, as we mentioned, especially in the assembly cut, we see some cool looking landscapes of this like harsh world, like whatever this place is, these Ox, like how they're kind of working through it and everything. It would have been so much better if if the rundown prison wasn't entirely run down, if there were still rooms that brought in that retro futurism and had some like bright cool stuff going on, like the juxtaposition between the outside harsh, tan, piss brown world, and then bring in something a little different. I think
it's a darker brown world in the inside.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that they mentioned this, which I kind of like, is that they mentioned that Weyland-Yutani pretty much just sent them off here to die. They don't fund this. They and it kind of, to me, if I were like really digging deep, I'm like, okay, this could be really talking about how corporations can own prisons and really not take care of the prisoners that are inside, which I'm like, okay, that's a message here that we're really diving into. But I wish they were able to kind of speak more on that, or maybe like make it look like it's still owned by Weyland-Yutani, but it's been run down a little bit, but with the aesthetics of Weyland-Yutani, right?
Yeah, I think it's just like, it's such a good example about how this movie is like 1 foot in, 1 foot out on so many different concepts that it doesn't go to anything like with that, because we touch on it when you see how like Weyland-Yutani, once they realize like, oh, Ripley is here, and then, oh, there's an alien here. Like you see them suddenly like, oh, we figured out how to put our ships in like turbo mode, and we're going to get here in 2 hours instead of maybe a couple weeks. Like, who cares? Like, you can see how how these people have no value to this corporation. They don't care at all. Like, there's a little bit of that message. There's like, they try to do like the like religious cult thing a little bit, but not really. And
I think that was kind of the interesting part, is the religious cult thing. I wish they lead more into that.
I agree.
And cause like separation, that certain people actually believed in the alien. I like the Gallic stuff with what he.
Yeah. And that's where I was.
Sorry, I think I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
That's where I was kind of thinking a little bit too, is like, I like that in the assembly cut, we have this like concept of like, maybe at least some people are like worshiping the xenomorph as a god. Like that would have been a super interesting thing to explore a little bit.
I was just thinking that, what if we had it as this world where Ripley still crash lands, the only face hugger on there was a queen face hugger that impregnates her, but somehow she's on this planet where an alien is already there. And we have these people that kind of maybe also worship it / are scared of it, like that other group. I don't know. There's the idea of just developing the cult aspect, the religious aspect of those people a little bit more, flush that out more in whatever way.
Really, all we know about it is that they're celibate.
Oh yeah,
right.
And they kind of like skim
they
past.
Can't handle having a woman around, because
Dylan, I think, is the one who really carries out the whole religious aspect of it throughout the whole movie.
Is that the sort of religious leader guy who saves her from getting raped? Yeah.
Yes.
He is. I enjoy his character, or his performance, I should say.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's good. Like there's good performances from some people. It's just like what they had to work with. Yeah. And we're able to build out, like, I just think that there's so many more interesting ways to that visually, because like the visuals are very specific. There's definitely a style going on with that, but unfortunately the thing that sticks out is that it's just all this really ugly tone the whole time, this color that's not pleasant.
From just like these both movies just looking so amazing,
contrasting colors, a lot of stuff going on. Like when you're in Aliens, and even Alien, you see the harshness of those planets, but then you go inside a Weyland-Yutani structure and you get that Weyland-Yutani feel. And I get, again, I get the idea of the derelict prison unit, but I feel like, what if like when Weyland-Yutani realizes there's a alien on this thing, all of a sudden there's this room that has like a mother unit that like starts waking up, so then we start getting like that bright cool room, so we get more Weyland-Yutani tech that like can come to life or something. That like there's ways to do it, but then you could still also have the deep underground gross tunnels,
grittiness,
grittiness of all that kind of stuff too. I think would have just balanced it, but we know constant struggles with this film and rewrites and changing things around and everything.
And it's very strange, because I don't necessarily think this is a bad movie. Like I still enjoyed myself watching it. But I'll I'll solidify my feelings by the end of this recording.
Sure, same. I'm not sure how I feel about it, whether or not it's good or bad. Now that you say it, I've known the movie for so long that it's just kind of got that. And I'm a fan of Alien. You know what I mean? It's all kind of wrapped in nostalgia and the franchise and everything together.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I came into it brand new, if I'd be like, well, it's bad, but I still like it, or I just don't know where I would.
Well, what if this, like, I mean, it's interesting to take out Ripley and just put in some other generic character, and that's the movie. Like, obviously, you maybe change the alien from being a xenomorph or something like that to another just generic alien movie. I don't think it's enjoyable to watch. Good, probably. Like,
certainly,
like you guys said, but she Ripley, really carries a lot of it.
Yeah, you take out Ripley from any of the Alien movies, and I don't know that I would like them as much.
Yeah, I guess maybe the first one I could see, like, because that's who she'd be, like, that's just the development of her in general. You could have a different person playing that or something, or just different type of character. But I see what you mean. But I feel like, especially this one, I feel like Aliens you might be able to have as a cool, I don't know. It's still just better. It looks better. And get away with. Like, at least it has better filmmaking, technical. Like, I don't even want to say that because I feel bad for dissing Fincher on this, but like,
I'm not even sure it's his fault. You know what I mean? I think they were really trying to be like, look, we're going to be different on this one, without thinking about, like, they thought more about making it different than they thought about making it good.
Well, because you think about what they said, they didn't want the most famous scene that we can think of from this movie being in it, and Fincher himself went out and did that, and that scene looks amazing and looks so good and just is so intimate in that moment of just getting up close to Ripley and having the fucking gross ass. I believe this xenomorph was really designed to have more lip stuff going on, so it can really move its stuff and get all really intimate with
lippy.
Gross kisses. The xeno kisses.
That's what happens when you come from a quadruped.
It's true.
I also feel like this xenomorph, I can never really grasp how truly big it is. Even though we see all of it, sometimes I feel like it looked very small. And then in certain scenes, it's like gigantic. And I'm like, what? I was very confused. Sometimes.
And at one point near the end of the movie, I feel like we did lose the like quadruped aspect of it, that it was just like, just another alien.
It's like, because the effects, because we'll probably keep interchangingly saying CGI of the alien when it's running. When it's not, it's just like bad composite of a practical alien thing that they were using put on top of the film. It all done very badly and hastily, so you could still see like a dark line around the whole fucking alien. Like, that's what sucked about it. It's supposed to be, I guess, 7 feet 5 inches tall, the runner.
Whoa.
Wow.
So it's still relatively big. And I mean, like you said, you can get in like all those practical shots where it's like towering over someone. Like, it's fucking menacing and huge. But yeah, it just kind of loses that when it's running.
Big time.
So we kind of talked about, how the opening made us feel and everything. We have kind of mixed feelings about that. And the filmmaking technical aspect of it, really, Fincher works with what he has. I mean, we do get some cool stuff. The alien, like the practical alien up to Ripley, of course. The scene at the end, even when we're getting just all that action going on of Ripley ultimately going into our lava or molten lead, whatever it is.
I've always this was one I hadn't watched as much or revisited as much, but I certainly always remembered her sacrificing herself and the way that looked, falling down into the lava pit. Another iconic moment from the film, I think.
And then unfortunately, I don't have, like, the only other, I guess, the practical effects of the alien, I do think look really good when we get those close-ups of it.
Yeah.
We get a lot of that stuff, I think, is really cool. And the sets,
the composite stuff is garbage.
If the sets were broken up in color and design, but I do like the sets that we're in. It's all
or
muddied
even the
together.
lighting. the lighting in the first two are so cool, and in this one it's just kind of bland. I don't know. It's not dynamic.
Yeah. Because I do think the set design is good, but then it's just all bland and blended together because of that color palette. Just put on like a fluorescent light every now and then.
Adds to the confusion of the action sometimes because everywhere kind of looks the same.
Yeah, I think that was very difficult, especially with the big scenes, like the plan that they had about getting it into that what's it called,
the mold for because the it's like the
lead
thing to like pour molten lead into.
Yeah, that room. It just like everyone kind of looked the same because they all are shaved head, but also at the same time there's different things that they were going through. So at some point it was just
running
explosions.
Through. Yeah, it's hard to tell what's happening in either version.
It's very Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Yes, but and I feel like this is something that I think the assembly cut did a little bit worse than just my opinion than the theatrical version, because I feel like as we're going through the assembly cut, like at the there's so many scenes of just like a bald person being chased through the hallway by the alien, and it like at some point it felt to me very like repetitive.
You guys are bald. They all look the same to you.
Coming from a bald man, I stand by it.
It's funny to me because that aspect of it, I never really was particularly confused on who was who, but maybe again, also I've known the movie for so long.
True. Fair. And the part where the alien, that whole scene when the alien is up close to your face. And but before that, this is the room I like. I like this room that they were in, especially
the sex room,
the medical sex room
with Clemens. I think all that stuff was great. They were well lit. There was like lighting in like just from the curtains and the light from the back, that the way that they shined on them. I thought this was very interesting, and I was very locked in. And from this scene, from when he gets killed. Shocking. I
love that.
Shocked.
I like that.
We both were like,
that's great.
Are you kidding me? We just got his. I mean, that probably was the first red flag that he told us his backstory. And I'm like,
sure.
I fell for it. And so from there to then going to Sigourney Weaver up to their face, realizing that they're not going to hurt her. And then also Golic over there just being like amazed. That whole sequence, brilliant. That really, really woke it up because unfortunately, like at the same time, the assembly cut does kind of drag in certain places. Like, yes, you get lots of dialogue and lots of character work with stuff, but like then we get into this part that looked really great, and I think it switched things up at the correct time.
Yeah, that's a great moment because, I mean, those Ripley and that doctor have essentially been our two main characters throughout the first half an hour of the movie or whatever it is. So his death is quite shocking. I really didn't like, and still kind of don't, that she kind of throws it at the doctor and they end up having sex. I'm like, I think part of it is because of the Hicks thing. We just had him in the last movie. They were clearly falling for each other, and now he just like dies for no real reason. He was fucking available. And you know, I would much rather have seen Michael Biehn and Sigourney Weaver get together than this guy.
Yeah, I can see that. I also kind of take it as like maybe a coping mechanism from Ripley.
Sure. I do like that it's kind of, you know, she's in charge of her own sexuality and it's just like, you know what, I've been out here a long time too. Yeah. Like that I'm cool with. I just, you know, I wish it was
you just wanted it to be Michael Biehn.
You know, with I've been shipping them, you know what I mean?
I mean, it is interesting too, because again, to her, it's like she had the events of Alien happen. She went into hypersleep and then woke up, but not a lot of time obviously passed in real time, but for her, not much time has passed. And then she goes and deals with aliens,
Mhm.
and then does all that shit, kind of starts falling for a dude, gets put into a cryopod. A little bit of time passes, wakes up again, and now she's dealing with all this shit at a prison and all this. Like, she's got a lot going on. So it's tough.
Certainly.
I mean, processing that however you got to, I guess, to get through it. But she makes her own decisions because ultimately, you know, she's like, I've got to kill myself and not get this thing. One of the things that I always remembered was Bishop coming back from. We see Bishop at the end of the movie coming into it, and I always hated it. Like, I was like, because I loved Bishop so much in Aliens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, now I got to see him being like this douchey thing.
Baddie.
Yeah, a baddie. And I
thought you said fatty for some reason. I was like, what?
So we talked a lot about Ripley and everything. So let's talk about Bishop for a second here, because this is one of the discussions that came up while we were watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't realize how much of time had passed between it. And it was basically, do you think this is another android or this is an actual human Bishop?
Oh.
Because, I mean, if you look at what, or, you know, synthetics and all that kind of stuff do, is they usually squirt out milky looking blood and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This Bishop clearly in the assembly clearly has a lot of blood coming out of him. I believe it's a little bit less in the theatrical.
But his ears hanging in a way that's not like
human, and he doesn't seem to be bothered by it.
Right.
So yeah, people pointed that out
tough.
as well. It's like this tough.
I know we're not at Alien Earth yet, but maybe
well,
I don't know when Alien Earth takes place in the timeline of the Alien franchise. I can't remember. It's between 1 and 2, right?
Before a few things, but
wow.
But I think
there's the cyborgy people.
Yeah, and like obviously, like, what if this
that wouldn't have been a concept yet, but
what if they decide to dye the milky insides red to make it more human-like or something?
Oh wow.
Sure. Yeah.
Holy, now see, it's hard for some reason. I don't know what would be more interesting to me, because I do kind of like that there is a human version of himself, and then he's making these clones of himself. And I like the old Bishop. I like the scene with Bishop and Ripley when she connects him, and it was like, oh my god. And he even says, like, you need to unplug me. So that was
it's like
very sweet.
I'll never be the same.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's probably right.
But I don't know. I want to say that he's human.
I mean, I'm firmly on the side that he is human. It's just like it makes so much sense to me with the Weyland-Yutani that we see, that, like, of course there's going to be some like Weyland-Yutani bigwig who is like so full of himself that the robots that he makes are him. Like, it's such an egotistical thing that like fits in with what we know of this corporation in this universe, that like, of course, like, this guy is gonna want.
They wanted to send a friendly face.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I definitely See, I go back and forth because I'm like,
I traditionally have always thought he was human, but it was at these watches, even before we discussed it in our watch along, that I was like, is he?
No, yeah, you guys bring up a good point, because now I'm thinking, like, I don't know. Stumped.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, because like I understand the idea that you like Weyland-Yutani and the company, and a lot of the big wigs and stuff, I'm sure, have this level, this immortality feeling, this kind of invulnerable factor they feel. So I could totally see him going there in person, thinking like, I got this covered and I want to be there for this to get this queen myself. But I could also see them being like, I will just send another Bishop bot down that way and worry about when it gets back. Alien Earth takes place 2 years before Alien.
Oh, great. So in theory, there could be a cyborgy human.
yeah. So,
but although that hadn't been developed yet in these movies, that's a new concept. And I just saw it got picked up for season 2. So that's
yeah.
We got to watch season 1.
We do.
Yeah, definitely. I had a great time with it. I think you guys would enjoy it a lot. Now, we mentioned Golic as well, so theatrical, not in it as much. He's kind of just this throwaway character, and obviously in the assembly plays a much bigger role. And it's kind of all fine. And as I'm kind of with you guys. All the bald men just kind of blend together. There's some that are a little bit more rapey and assholey than others.
Yeah.
But
Holt McElhenney or whatever his name is, the guy from Mindhunter and a bunch of stuff. That's an actor I've been seeing around for years and years and years.
But then the only other character I guess that really stands out is Dylan. I mean, there's a few others that kind of make it towards the end. What's his name? That like there's
The
one person
who actually
who
survives and leaves. Yeah.
Murphy?
Eric.
Or was
Morse.
it not Murphy?
I don't remember his name.
Morse. Yeah. He his story is supposed to be that he like gets taken away and just gets put onto another prison planet. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, of course that's
Seems
what they
right.
would do. They're just what they don't fucking they'll just take this guy and put him somewhere else. But Dylan stuck out to me too because obviously of how much he plays a role and just helping corral the alien, and then ultimately the sacrifice he makes to hold it down into the molten.
That was badass.
Iron.
I was like,
I was like, why isn't he letting Ripley do this? You know that she's got to die too.
Aliens got to
That was my
die
thought.
first, then you can die.
Right. I love the first prisoner death. That it's not from it's from an alien scare, I guess. The guy who falls into the fan and it's just the big blood splat.
That was pretty bloody. I liked
I
it.
enjoy that.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, a lot of good kills, a lot of good bloody kills. But I mean, in terms of the other characters, I think we nailed it.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
one other character, the head honcho guy, who was just like, "You guys listen to me," and then he gets yanked by the alien into the ceiling.
I thought it was so funny how like the alien seemed to have a really good idea of like timing. In this is like just a little like
Wait.
right out.
Oh, right now.
Okay.
This is that alien variant. This is the Xeno variants. This one really understands, timing.
Sense of drama. Yeah.
The bitch is back.
And we mentioned it a little bit too. I mean, one of the big suspenders or anything that I have to hold on and they get tugged way too hard is the alien effect when it's running is just so much. It brings you out of it. Certainly,
It did give me a giggle whenever it happened. I feel like xenomorphs just work really well when they're in the shadows, blending in and doing all that stuff.
I mean, the idea
Agreed.
could have
That's
worked.
where they're best.
I mean, it could have worked if it was just executed better. And unfortunately, it wasn't the right time to have a
They
running.
didn't have today's technology.
Right.
Well, it's almost like they want to show us the alien more in this one than they did in the previous two films, which was a bad idea.
Again, they're them trying to change things for the sake of changing it and not really understanding what or why. We mentioned that doctor getting killed off halfway, and that I guess we could have that as a main character getting killed trope. I mean, we have that in the first movie where we don't think that Ripley's going to be our main character.
Sure, yeah.
And we get our big main
Scary.
character kind of killed halfway through it, and we get that again with this one here.
That's a shock.
You can cut if it's the assembly cut that you're watching, the Gallic letting the alien out could be kind of like a trope that we have someone who works against us. Trope. It seems to happen in the first these three movies.
You have the Paul Reiser character in the second one and Ash in the first one.
Yeah, definitely. Big ones that don't happen since we're not in space. Nothing gets sucked off screen, sucked out of thing. I mean, that's specifically a space trope, and we certainly have it in the first two Alien movies, and also a countdown. There's no like, like a big countdown that something needs to happen, or everything's gonna blow up otherwise.
Yeah, I guess the countdown is Wayland Yutani is coming.
I guess
it's not like the planet's going to blow up or the ship's going to blow up. You know, the stakes are much lower comparably.
Yeah. Maybe the countdown, if you could think of it loosely as, is like the countdown to the chest burst of the alien queen.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
True.
Although we don't know when that's coming. I guess they need to incubate. The queens incubate a lot longer, obviously.
Yeah. I think that's the premise they go with, is that's why it takes so long, is because it's a queen growing in there. I didn't have any other tropes written down. I think those were some of the big ones that we do and do not get. again, because they try to break convention from the first two, there's not a lot of those typical things.
Ripley is put down because she's a woman, and they eventually finally listen to her.
Oh, that's certainly
that's a Alien the movie series trope. And I would say almost raped by dangerous men but saved at the last second is a trope in certain things. We kind of knew that was going to happen at some point right away once they established where we were.
Right. Certainly. You put her on an ex-convent incel prison planet. You're like, we know what we're going to do here. I do like, there wasn't too much that was memorable in terms of dialogue from this movie, but something that did stick out to me, and I wrote it down, was "You've been in my life so long, I can't remember anything else," which Ripley says to the alien. Is just like, yeah, we've kind of spoke on that. That's like brutal. All she's like known for the past however long in her mind. It's just like, everything was fine. She was just a fucking space trucker doing space trucking.
Just doing her space trucking.
Some more,
and everything changes
whatever
so
her
much.
specialty was.
That's such like it's badass, but also like very sad to think about for her character. It's just heartbreaking that she's going through all of this. And I can't even imagine just being repeatedly put in these different situations and just jumping right into kind of figuring yourself out from scratch.
Mm-hmm. We haven't really touched on it, but the scene Newt's like autopsy,
that's rough.
Is so messed up.
Yeah,
that is a tough scene. Like, it's that. I think that might be one of the hardest parts to watch in any of these movies.
It was hard, and even just like Ripley just saying "forgive me,"
her reaction,
and just God, that's kind of like it really like kicked me in the balls twice, like that. And also the beginning when they were just like deceased or dead. And I'm like,
it's like, not only is she dead, we're really going to hammer it home.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas like, especially, in the last one, she's like, becomes this mother figure. And we had just had it in the director's cut. She was a mother and lost her daughter because she'd been frozen in space for so long.
So now she gets a new one.
Immediately killed.
It just it felt like such a high of an ending for the previous one, and to undo that just felt like a slap in the face to us. I would have loved if one of them at least like came back and kind of had this emotional scene right from the beginning between her and whoever, maybe like Hicks. They had like one final conversation before they died. That might have saved it for me a little bit, but boy, this kind of like reminded me of like Halloween Resurrection, how everything was undid from the previous one.
I wonder what you'll think of Alien Resurrection.
It's
awesome.
I can't wait.
It's going to be fun. I love it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Can't wait to wear my Alien Resurrection shirt.
I do agree with a lot of this. It's one of the things that I dislike is like Ripley had such character growth in the last movie with Newt and opening herself up and everything, and then we're just like, shrug, they're dead, bummer. Like she looks sad, and you see the like she doesn't want to like have to go through this autopsy and everything, but I feel like the second that it was over, it was just like done. Like,
that's a good point.
The switch turned off in her head, and it does like it does then make the romance that she has with Clemens like feel a little strange and like it came out of nowhere when you would like think, if we're starting from the same point with where the movie ended last time, like she wouldn't want to just jump into something random and new with some like just dude who was on this planet.
Agreed.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's like anything meaningful, because they were both lying to each other even after that happened. So
well, and so like I like the idea of this being like a coping mechanism for her. Then like I think that kind of makes sense. It's the only way that I can read it, that it makes sense for her character.
She didn't want to face those feelings.
They're like, you guys loved Ripley being a badass, fed up, awesome woman in the last one. What if we make her depressed?
Heroes cry too, you know.
Like, I get it. That's important. I think.
Well,
I wonder,
question.
Like, I think. Yeah.
What do you think that Ripley grows as a character in this one?
Great question.
I mean, singular to this movie or throughout the series? You mean like from the start of this movie to the end of this movie?
Singular to this movie, like from beginning to end.
No,
I don't
grow
as a character.
Not really.
No, because she's always known the stakes, is always prepared to do whatever. I mean, ultimately, she's ready to kill the thing, do the thing, and be done with the thing. But she learns there's a thing inside of her, so she's like, okay, so I'll just kill that. Like if she doesn't, like, yeah, but like she's already like so upset by the people dying before her that she's already in this like depressed mood or whatever. So it's not.
Yeah.
Right.
There doesn't seem to be much growth from it. It's just
I think her emotional state changes, but as a
Yeah.
character, she's the same.
Yeah. I mean, I think she does have like certain really good moments where she's prevailing and choosing the heroic sacrificial way to do it. But I mean, compared to the first two movies where the journey she had in Alien and then also the journey she had in Aliens to an action star, I think is just phenomenal. I feel like she does kind of stay pretty leveled. And we kind of know that she's going to do what she does to prevent this from happening.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Which is amazing
that
I never thought of that because, like you said before, she kind of carries this movie. Her performance is just so fantastic.
Yeah.
And yet her character doesn't really experience any growth or change.
She kind of just has to survive this event.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great point.
She does have some like internal growth. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Let's go ahead and get into some of the gore real quick and talk about that. I mean, we get a lot of stuff going on in just various different ways, depending on your theatrical cut versus assembly cut. But we have that whole autopsy you're talking about with Newt. We get a lot of people exploded. I mean,
yeah,
that is like a big part of like killing off a bunch of the inmates is just blowing them up.
Oh yeah.
What's tickling you?
In your notes for the exploded people, you have a line for each inmate, starting inmate number 1 through 9, that says "exploded to death in fire."
Well, 6 through 9 are burnt to death in fire. So the first 5 get exploded. This was something I forget where I pulled it from.
That tickled me.
We get some acid to the face. We get a bunch of kills by the aliens. We got face punches. I guess we'll call it little mouth head punches.
Little mouth.
As Sam mentioned, we get the really cool into the fan
splat.
Yeah, exactly.
That was gory.
Bishop's head from Aliens is in it. If we want to count her deactivating Bishop, the synth.
Sure.
We get pulled into a ceiling, killed by an alien, and then some eventually just get kind of found eaten. Yeah, that's right. It says and kind of humped. This is the first one where we really see the alien eat the people.
Yeah.
Like after it kills, it consumes them a bit, which is, I guess, maybe more animalistic dog and or ox behavior.
Choose your player.
And we see a bit more of what that mouth do in this one.
We do, which is great. That's what we've wanted, and so that's why I think a lot of the deaths are really good and really cool in this. When we get a lot of those moments, a lot of that looked really good, and I'm here for a lot of that. So more kills off screen. Bitten by the alien, head punched by alien. Some people found dead. More alien kills. And then the alien itself gets like covered in molten lead and just exploded or whatever.
And cooled off quickly.
Nice cool off quickly.
I like that we got to see a bucket do that earlier in the movie so that you could, if you weren't a complete dum-dum, you could put it together.
Did we say the dude in the assembly cut that got his throat slashed?
Throat slash? I didn't even mention that, but that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, came out of nowhere.
Old Gallic slashing throats. So keep a lot of those in mind as we go here.
It's time for the gore. Fatality.
We're going to add up in intensity and consistency to get our gore score. Now, this is interesting because we talk about two different cuts here.
Oh yeah. How?
I mean,
I think most of no, because one whole scene is like cut out.
I don't think there's anything too terribly intense. As we were talking about, is this for beginners and everything? We get a lot of like splats and gooey things, but it really doesn't feel terribly intense.
But it is pretty consistent. I think
that's true.
It is. It is very consistent.
Yeah.
But the dog in the theatrical cut, I think, is the most intense.
Yes.
It's the fact that it's still alive and you hear it also while like going back and forth between a very serious scene that just it's very hard to watch. Even from like I didn't even want to see it, but I just heard the sounds and it just that was also intense. So I feel like that really builds it up. The ox, at least, it looks like a prop.
It's dead.
You know,
and it's dead already.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. In this weird like butcher area they have. I would have liked to see more of the utilitarian spaces than just these like rusty bits.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So consistency, start there. What do you think? It's pretty consistent throughout the movie. We get little bits here, there.
3.5 maybe.
That was exactly what I was thinking in my head, Sergio.
Got you.
Same.
Whoa.
I knew eventually we'd all mind meld and okay, so then intensity.
That's tough.
2.5.
I was gonna max out at a 2. I feel like the dog scene makes it a 2.5.
It depends on
your version.
If we're
that's what I was going to say.
If we're including the dog scene, I would do 2.5. If it's assembly, I would go 2.
Yeah,
2.25.
2.25 to average between the two movies because I agree with that there. So. 5.75?
Yeah,
I think
it feels high. I feel I would have.
I don't think it
given
feels okay.
I mean, to me, it just I would have thought it would have come in like just below a 5, maybe.
Oh, well, then maybe the gore meter needs to be retired because clearly it is broken.
Oh boy,
I'm kidding. We love to measure our gore. All right, let's talk a little bit about our climax here. It kind of concludes to the same thing in either version that you're watching. They figure out obviously that the alien will not kill Ripley because of the embryo that's inside of her, so Ripley begs Dylan to kill her. He's only going to agree to this if they kill the alien first, so they have to form this plan to lure it into the Foundry's molding facility. And this is where it gets a little confusing with the action. There's all these series of closing doors, getting the thing runway and this way. This is where I said it was get Scooby-Doo because I feel like we're in a hallway where there's people running by one way, then running by the other way.
And we also get a shot in that area where you just see someone run by and then the alien run by chasing them. And it is very silly Scooby-Doo, like just running from door to door in a hallway.
Which I like. That would have been fun. That would have been a fun, like you want to change the tone of the movie, make it a little sillier like that. And like put a little bit more of those movies and you don't have to necessarily have it so
I actually kind
and depressing.
This whole plan, I kind of was very locked in for this. I liked the scene before it because it was, I think, Dylan speaking. I also like how it was shot. It was just like him speaking up and the prisoners are just like hanging out on like.
They're just like, all right, I'm going to go to this level to hear your speech. And I'll go over here to this level for that. And you know what? I'll climb over here for this level. Yeah. It is cinematically cool, but it doesn't make much sense logically.
I think that's pretty much what they thought about. They were like, this looks cool. Let's just aim for that. But I like his,
a lot of that.
I like his speech because the speech was very much like, we were left here to die. So let's fucking go out with a bang by like killing this person, and we are just going to accept that we're going to have to die while doing it. And I thought it was very, with the music and him talking, I thought it was very exciting. And then at this point, I got close to familiar faces of the cast, so I was like, okay, these are the people that I'm worried about. And I think it was really exciting how they did it, and just like the camera that followed them as they ran. I thought that was pretty exciting.
Oh, that was fun to get that sort of like Sam Raimi Evil Dead.
Yeah,
I agree.
Alien Vision.
Yeah, and Vision was fun, running around, twirling around and stuff.
Oh, you know who we haven't talked about? Or maybe we did. The guy that what's his name? They called him a name. 85.
Oh
85 because that's his IQ.
Oh yeah, the dumb guy who's the only like official left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I another character who I enjoyed his performance. Like they actually, at least he was kind of layered. He's kind of like, look, this is just a fucking job. I'm ready to go home.
Yeah,
like,
he has a
I got
family
kids
at
and a wife.
home.
I'm not trying to fucking deal with this.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
it gave some
sacrifices himself, or he helps at the end.
Yeah. He's like,
yeah.
you know what? I'm not going to put up with this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I believe his name is Aaron, but 85 was his nickname.
What they end up calling him, yeah.
Yeah. So they come up with this big plan. This is where a lot of the inmates die, except for Dylan and
Dylan.
Let's see. The bait and chase plan results in the death of every prisoner except for Morse and Dylan. Dylan remains in the mold to distract the alien, allowing him to tear it apart as Morse pours the molten lead onto them. Alien is covered in the metal, but escapes the mold. And Ripley activates the fire sprinklers, causing the alien's exoskeleton to cool rapidly and shatter. So this is how they get it. But this, well, Weyland-Yutani has now arrived with the whole commando team and a man who looks very much like Bishop. And he claims to be Bishop's creator, saying, you know, that was a synth. I'm who Bishop is based off of. He's trying to persuade Ripley to undergo surgery so that they could remove it and save her. They'll dispose of the embryo. They don't, you know, it'll be all okay.
Yeah,
we're going to save you.
Trust us.
Totally trust us, the company. We haven't steered you wrong. Ripley is like, I don't think this is legit, and she refuses. Ultimately, stepping back onto the platform with Morse positioning her over the furnace. The Weyland-Yutani shoots Morse in the leg. Aaron pops out. This is 85. It strikes Bishop, lookalike, with a wrench, and then he's shot dead by the commandos. This is when Bishop gets his like ear whacked off. Commando team begs Ripley to let them have the magnificent specimen, as they call it, and Ripley throws herself into the furnace. And then this is where you get the slight differentiation of her either chest bursting or not. But the sacrifice happens, and I believe Morse is still alive, and he's led away. And that's how we end it.
And it's interesting because he had been one of the shittier inmates the whole time, like giving, you know what, he had been like giving Ripley a hard time and alien, everything about him. Interesting character to choose to have live. I don't dislike the decision. It's just
interesting choice of it.
I might even like the fact that they didn't do it as like, oh, the good prisoner lived. It's like, no.
I'm just like, at this point, I'm thinking, what is going to stop Weyland-Yutani? Do we have no hope at all?
I think we have no hope at all. I mean, even in this, like we saw how much they like really wanted to get this xenomorph. Like they want something, and I feel like they are stopping at no lengths, because literally, like, as we're talking through it, I started rethinking, like, maybe it's a little bit, them speeding up could almost be less like, oh, we could go get a xenomorph finally. And it could easily be more like, oh, this girl has killed these xenomorphs. Every other time we have gotten this close, we are not letting her get away with this again, which is why they bring in the big guns with the familiar face.
I would like to know if there is an entry where they succeed. Do they eventually get the alien, and what happens?
Right.
Do they
better keep watching.
Alien Resurrection takes place a couple hundred years in the future, we'll say. So
wow. Okay.
As far as I remember. So any final thoughts on Alien 3 before we get to our questions for tonight? I don't have any at this point. I think we soaked this one out. All right, so let's jump over there. Getting into our questions tonight, we will start it off as usual with, how would we survive? Would we survive? And how many of us would get sacrificed? So are we a bunch of bald incel dudes?
Yeah, so
I mean, I don't think I'm surviving prison.
Up long dead
We've
before
joined
this.
Ross with the other bald incel cult prisoners. And there's an alien.
Plus the alien.
And this woman shows up claiming that there is an alien or something could be wrong or something. I mean, I think if it's us and we've been forced to live on this prison planet and I feel like we only adopt the cult thing because we're just like, what else do you do?
Do you two have to be celibate?
Like, oh my God. Are we not?
I'm sorry. This is the rules.
No, because I kind of feel like if we were with each other, we'd invite like other people too. Like, oh shoot, they're getting relief. I'm like, whoa. Easy there.
I mean, yeah, once it starts, it's a big party. I feel like it's a different cult that forms. You know, let's roll with this. I think it's good. And then I think in that instance, Ripley shows up. We believe her. We trap this thing in the whatever.
We're yes queening her.
Yes,
okay, and we just survive, and we I think we do well in that instance.
Oh, we would so hang out with Ripley and be like, girl, don't hook up with that man.
Yeah.
He prescribed people the wrong medicine.
We'd just be like smoking a cigarette in the corner, like watching the rest of the nonsense.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I have a question for you guys because Sam and I believe, don't see it. But the doctor, man, did you find him attractive?
Clemens?
Is that his? I forget his name. Yeah,
the guy
yeah.
she sleeps with.
She hooks up with.
He's attractive in there's only 22 people left on this giant prison.
Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah. I think I'm jumping his bones first.
I mean,
he's like a regular person on the street, good looking, not a movie
bones need
person.
To be jumped, then those bones could be jumped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. But he's no Michael Biehn.
No.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Come on.
No. I mean, there's several people from that cast that this one, Slim Pickens.
Could get it. That guy who's shaped like a V.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm going to be honest here, I'd probably might go for Dylan over
oh, yeah.
the other guy. There is one shot of Dylan and he is just fucking hanging hog. Like it is like ridiculous.
Really? Did we not see hog?
You don't actually see it, but like
you don't see it,
print?
but you can see the outline, the imprint. Yeah.
Wow, we're the worst.
We had a lot of fun in the watch along. Watch along. So we were talking about this. That kind of came up. One of our patrons, Kate, was talking about it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, definitely." And Sam and I were like, "I guess we don't really see it. We see him as like an attractive, like average man." But
I think it's the way he says,
"This is my movie star. I want a Michael Biehn."
Mm-hmm. I think it's the way that he says, like, I can give you my cocktail or something like that.
Yes.
That could sound like kind of rapey, but like
it could. Yeah. He's always very even keeled. He's like, no matter what he's saying, I'm going to tell you like this.
Do you think they were trying to make him sound like he was maybe a synth? Like
I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I was getting a little bit of vibes of that the first time that we watched it. I didn't see it as much the second time.
What if
I guess
if he
already knew he wasn't? Oh,
sex synth.
Sex synth.
I think it's just like permanent bedside manner, his way of talking.
True.
There you go.
That would make sense
enough. Okay, so I think in an incel cult, I don't think we survive. I think in whatever we're calling the opposite, free, we're all how
it would go if we were there.
Yeah. I think we do survive because we all work together and we believe Ripley right away. So let's get to our hero level. Ripley, again, in this one here. Tenacity and iconography.
So tenacity, I'm going to put at a 5 because she's willing to sacrifice herself.
Yeah,
true.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
She does die.
But even like
it's not very tenacious.
As we get to that ending though, like she's fully on board with like, you know what? It's not attacking me. So let's just see how this goes. I'm gonna let it keep not attacking me. Like she's not taking any chances.
I'd give her a 4.5.
Okay. I understand because of she dies. Is that it?
Yes.
Is it because she's depressed?
Yeah, like no, because that can get you through some shit. The tenacity of that, it's just I mean, yeah, I'll give it the 5 with an asterisk. I don't care. Here's the problem. I don't think her iconography is a 5. I don't think she gets a 10 out of this one because
I would recognize her. Okay,
I would recognize it, but I would also just might be like that. Just might be like a grunge person, like
Yeah,
like
I feel you.
like it's a little
one of those kids who chooses to be homeless and rides the
because
rails.
it's just. I mean, she's just wearing like a hoodie off the shoulder and a black tank
but
top
the baldness,
and black pants.
I feel like
The baldness for sure adds an aspect to it, but I mean, whatever. I don't care. What do you guys want to do? I could easily give it a 5 as well because I think the t-shirt is great. That it's an image. I'm wearing the t-shirt, which is the image of her in that outfit. And I'm like, that's cool as fuck. But
I'd probably give it a 3.
I think she looks really tough in this one, even though she's going through a lot. But I agree, like her whole getup isn't much to brag about, but her face card.
I mean, it doesn't define.
I feel like
sure.
To me, it's more of a divine look than the other movies, but I didn't think that I wanted an asterisk on the 5 for her iconography in those.
how about this is just a 10 with an asterisk again because it's Ellen Ripley and she's
There you
awesome, and I can't not talk about her awesomeness.
Works for me.
No matter how grunge she gets. Our villain level, our runner xenomorph.
Oh,
Power level is pretty powerful just because it kills a lot of people. It survives a lot. It survives being put into molten lead.
I don't know how. There's a suspender.
Strong exoskeleton.
That it jumps
apparently.
out of that.
Well, lead has a fairly low melting point. So, like, compared to other metals that it could have been, I could see an argument for like the super tough exoskeleton might be able to survive molten lead, depending on how hot they get it. But
Sure, I guess this is a different version of aliens we've seen before because before we know they will.
It's
right. Or dog blood.
Ox dog.
But
there's nothing with acid blood in this.
It seems like the lead would ultimately cool, and wouldn't the alien then just be kind of like stuck?
that is how I thought it was gonna go.
Right
inside of the rapid cool thing.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
But,
either way, power level still like maybe a 4?
I wouldn't go any higher.
I wish I
3.5
what we did for the other ones. Sure.
Great. And the iconography of the runner alien, I'd say is, I mean, for good or bad, it's
distinct.
It's so strange because you showed us the Funko Pop of the runner, and it looks so good when it's like that, but not in the movie. You know, it's strange. I think it's still interesting.
I'd do the same thing. 3.5.
3.5.
Okay, that's wonderful. So that gives it a 7, and obviously the Ripley wins in the end.
That's right.
She does.
All right. Do you think they should have a sequel? Alien 3 has now happened.
No, I'd be like, well, I guess they don't know what to do anymore. I'll just wrap it up.
I mean, I think that, and I mean, I have not seen the sequel to this, so we will find out. But I feel like, how do you really make a sequel that feels cohesive when the main character that's been tying this entire franchise together is now gone?
This is a
resurrection.
You said erection?
Resurrection. Alien Resurrection.
Oh, yes. The next one. Well, I mean, I like that this feels like a fitting end for Ripley. And maybe they can go on without her, because I need to see Weyland-Yutani down. I want to see that happen. It just seems like that storyline is just not ended.
Yeah, just jump to Romulus from here.
Well, sure, I guess.
If you want an alien movie that feels like the first 2 movies.
I see what you're saying. Yes, I understand now. I thought you meant just like, don't watch those other movies. Just go watch Romulus. you're saying after Alien 3, give us something different, like give us a different timeline. Right.
Yeah. I'm saying give us something that feels like the first two movies, but with new characters.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
there you go.
I guess like it to me that like I don't know that like is what I would consider a sequel, air quotes. Like I do think that if we're gonna do another movie, it should be the same world, but something completely different and almost like a new storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Wrap up Ripley's with a bow here.
Yeah.
Done.
And that's what she wanted since like the second. She wanted to die in the second one.
Right.
She's been wanting to die for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What prop do we think? What prop do you want from the movie? Anything interesting enough? Any brown object that you want?
Half a bishop.
Oh, Bishop's head.
Oh, yeah.
His little synth head.
And with the arm. You just see his little arm sticking out of the garbage pile.
I mean, the face hugger from the Queen face hugger.
Oh, yeah. Especially
cool.
now that I know it's different.
Different big. I think that would be cool to have.
The alien that pops out in the theatrical version.
There you go. Just like, yeah, the alien stuff would be like the cool stuff.
There's nothing really prison related that I would want. I don't think.
I'm trying to think of anything like that stands out that I'd want, but
Nah,
don't blame you.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh my God, they're playing Alien 3 at midnight. We have got to go, and this is going to be a really good time. What is going on? Are we throwing like dust at the screen?
I think we're pouring molten lead onto the audience. Like
I'm throwing lice.
Interesting.
I'm bringing lice into
that's fun. Yeah.
That's bold.
You bring lice into the lobby.
Cut.
You bring lice into the lobby. Oh, I guess we all have it. And then in the theater during the moment when she shaves her head, everyone shaves their head.
Everyone shaves their head.
Yeah.
Yes. The shave along.
The shave along. The Alien 3 shave along.
The shave along. I love that.
Hell yeah. The shave cut.
I don't think there's much better to do than that. And then we just kind of like hang out. And what kind of concession vessel would you like representing Alien 3?
I want it'd be nachos and be like 2-layered, and you'd have your chips in the top part, and that is the thing that held the molten lead, and then this chamber below that the molten lead falls to is full of your cheese. And it even opens up so you can choose to open it and let them all fall into your cheese, or you can pull them out and dip them as you please.
Okay.
And there's an alien and a Dylan in the cavity, the cheese cavity.
The cheese
Nailed
cavity.
it.
I love that.
That's beautiful. I don't think I have anything better than that.
I
There's
don't.
not much.
No.
So let's rate this thing.
I only want your fingers.
Should we all like cut our fingers open and bleed on it?
Can you wrap your fingers around this?
I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason's bacon.
Show them.
On this show, we love to use a rating scale of 0 to 5 fingers, with each finger representing a different quality about the movie. These ratings are intended to be subjective on how we feel about a movie and not if the movie is objectively good or bad. Gauging sticky, stuffable cockles and rewatchable is what we will run through. To get the scores started off, I'll go ahead and go first, because why not? Engaging. I think I'm probably going to have to give it a 0.75. And I'm thinking about that because if I'm watching the theatrical if I'm watching the assembly cut, it is kind of long. Yes, we do get a lot more out of it, but it does, I do find myself not being as engaged. And it also has problems to do with just the color palette of the movie. Makes it feel like so one thing. Sticky, I think I'll probably give Sticky, this is tough. Let's give it a 0.75 right now. And I'm thinking that because I do remember a lot about this movie, and I do think about a lot of this stuff from this movie, whether it be good or bad. It's remained up there. T-shirtable. 0.75 because I'm wearing the t-shirt right now. And I think there is really cool t-shirts to wear for it. And I mean, I say t-shirtable because that's what we kind of classically called it, but stuffable as well. I also have the Runner Funko Pop of it. And like, there is still alien stuff that can come out of any of these movies. It's really cool. Cockles, let's go ahead and give it a 0.5. So I'm going to knock it a little bit because I love the alien world. I love living in the alien world. But then when we don't get the cool futuristic retro stuff of the Yutani ships and all that kind of stuff we were used to before, that just saddens me. I understand the constraints and whatever happened in the movie, but even like if you think about that original version of a wood planet, we're not getting that kind of stuff. But and rewatchable, I'll go ahead and give it a 0.5 for rewatchable for now. I think that's a good middle ground. I'm not opposed to rewatching. Like I said, I like Alien. I like living in that world. There's other Alien movies I'd much rather watch before then. So 3.25 I think might be a little high, but there's nostalgia tied to it. So I think it's fine.
Sure.
So Sam,
nice.
We're going to have you go next.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really curious what it's going to be. Engaging, I'm going to do 0.75 as well. And I think it's just that sort of one note, one tone thing you touched on, Brian. I think in the future, I will always try and do the assembly cut if I can, because I know it's longer and has more just sort of establishing shots. But I just think in general, it actually is more engaging because of the more character development and different aspects to it. Sticky. I think I'm going to do 0.75 as well. For the same reasons as you, there's a few shots that I've always remembered. Her falling into the lava, and we keep calling it lava, whatever it is.
Yeah, right.
And of course, the shot of the alien coming up and not getting her. And I remember seeing that for the first time and being like, what is going on? And I remember my mom was watching it with me when she was watching it for the first time. And she was like, oh, I bet she's got an alien. And the first time I saw this was on TV, like UPN or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Probably for me too.
Yeah. Stuffable. Yeah, probably. I really like the shirt Brian has. I wouldn't mind having a shirt like that, but certainly not for anything. So we'll call it a 0.75 there as well. And then Cockles. 0.5. It can't help but do it for me because it's an alien movie, and I have some nostalgia tied to it, but it's not a world I love living in, especially compared to the first two.
Mm-hmm.
And then rewatchable is also going to be a 0.5. Same thing as Brian. Really, I guess for me, like, I will only watch this one when I'm rewatching the movies, like the franchise. Whereas the first one and second one, I could just put on their own. Like I don't need to have recently watched Alien to watch Aliens, and I can certainly obviously start with the first one and then not follow it up with sequels. But I like it, but I don't think I'm gonna just be like, you know what, I'm gonna put on Alien 3.
Sure.
And that's 3.25, which feels right. I remember saying after our watch along that I felt like maybe I was at a 3 for theatrical and 3.5 for assembly. And that was brand new to me at the time. But so falling right in the middle of that, is what I thought, where I thought I would be.
I love that. That's like perfectly in the middle of the two cuts, which is what we really discussed throughout this whole episode.
Yeah.
Ross was able to beam a transmission over just by text, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to read that for him on his behalf. But he said engaging was a 1. Even when I accidentally watched the first half of the theatrical and then the last half of the assembly cut, I was fully engaged. Even if it was to figure out what was going on. Yes. So he split them up. Watched.
He was streaming. He watched the first
cut.
Half streaming, and then the next half on from the quadrilogy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sticky 0.5. I have forgotten more than I remembered, but the things I did remember were very sticky. Stuffable, 0.5. Totally not opposed to having anything Alien 3 related, but would own another sequel merch before this one. Although xenomorph head shape hair clippers would be rad, then we can all shave our heads in style of, it says like Riley. I assume that means Ripley.
Yeah, like some HR Geiger buzzers.
Buzzers, that'd be fun. Cockles, 0.5. I love that we get to have a quadruped xenomorph and show what the parasite does with other animals' DNA. I just feel like the tonal shift from 2 to this was like riding the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. It drops hard and this movie gets fucking bleak. I just wish we had a softer landing between the two, but I did like the idea of a prison planet. And rewatchable is a 0.25. It's a fun occasional ride, but far too many other Alien films have had this one to get a solid, consistent rewatch. That gives me a 2.75, fingers thrown into the furnace while clutching a queen embryo, which I'm cool with. I feel like we should advocate for more animal xenomorph. Next installment, Ripley at the Zoo. So 2.75 from Ross. Thanks for beaming that over. I hope he's doing well as an incel. All right.
Well, he's already lived it for 40 years.
Nailed him. Cody and Sergio, we're gonna have you guys go. Let's have Sergio go first.
Okay. For engaging is always going to be rough because we do record our reactions, our first time reactions to this, so we are really engaged for it.
Sure, right.
But the second time around, we had to split our watch, so it wasn't as engaging we weren't as engaged as before. So I don't know what that has to say about the movie, but I'm gonna give it a 0.75 for engaging. I do think I prefer the assembly cut, which is weird, but I do like a lot of things in it. I think it does drag in places, but I do like the extra stuff that was there, or the different stuff that was out of there. Yeah. Plus, I get to see an ox, a dead ox,
dog. Not a live dog,
not a live dog. Right. Sticky. There's so many things that stuck out for me. So I'm going to give this a 1 because I think just that whole iconic scene in the
like medical sex
scene was really interesting. Newt's pretty much body autopsy that Ripley had to go through, the funeral scene cutting to the gory mess that's happening elsewhere. For me, the ox was very gruesome, very brutal. That the practical effects just stuck out for me really well. The alien itself running around stuck out to me too. But
sure,
sometimes.
But yeah, still memorable.
T-shirtable. Yeah, I'd wear this. I'd have Ripley's head right on my chest. That would be good. The alien itself, the iconic scenes.
A lot of good imagery.
I'm going to say 0.75.
For a movie that suffers from a lot, and especially like losing a lot of the dynamics of the first two, there actually is a lot of good imagery in this. It's just something I thought of as you were saying the different things, for sure.
Yeah, it really sticks out when you like list them. For cockles, this one's going to be a little tough because I just didn't get the same thrill that I got with Aliens. It was such a freaking ride. And that's maybe unfair to this movie because it's following that one directly in a little short span of time. So I'm going to give it 0.5 for cockles. And it's going to go into rewatchable, which is also going to be 0.5. I don't think I'm going to be running to see this one as fast as the previous two, because the previous two are just like double feature heaven. But yeah, I think just a combination of how it made me feel, along with it transfers over to the watchable. It's not going to make me want to go see it again, but I'm not going to say completely no. I'd give it Another watch.
Sure.
Nice. 3.5 for you. How's that feel?
I'll
Good?
lock it in.
Locked in. I love it.
Lock it in.
Cody, it's your turn.
All right. I think so for engaging, I'm really torn between a 0.5 and a 0.75 here. I think I struggle a little bit comparing the two because I do prefer the assembly cut. I think that it's a little more engaging because it gives you, it explores some more things. It gives you a little more backstory. Like it establishes the environment and the world and the mindset of these people on the planet. So I think I'm going to give it a 0.75 because that would be the one that I would rewatch given the chance. And a 0.75 feels right for that. For Sticky, I'm going to ding it a little bit here and put this in at a 0.5 because I just get frustrated that you can feel all of the studio meddling in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the movie suffers a lot because it struggles to find the path of, are we going down the religious side? Are we it just doesn't know what it really wants about? To be. Yeah. So I think I would give that a 0.5 for t-shirt roll. I agree that I think that this is the one that I would put it out of 1. I think my t-shirt design for this would be of course there's the iconic shot of the alien head really close to Ripley. And you have that, it's just such a good visual. But I think the t-shirt design that I would like to submit for, the group's approval here is I would actually do a scan of the torso on the t-shirt where you see the organs and the alien around it and just Alien 3 at the bottom. That's
cool. Yeah.
That would be mine.
Nailed it.
That's very good. Very, very good. Would it be cubed or a regular 3? Or would the 3 be where the E is?
It would be cubed. I'll save the 3 for where the E is to be. If this somehow extends itself to 13 movies, I would prefer it to be AL13N. That would be my choice.
Be perfection.
But so I think I would give that a 1 just because there's so much good imagery from this that I think you could tap into. Cockles, I'm going to make this a 0.5 also. Yeah, and I think that this is probably a little bit lower than it would be on review later just because it's so close to the last 2 movies that were solid ones in that category. And rewatchable, I would do a 0.5 there as well because I'd stick it alongside a rewatch of 1 and 2, but I wouldn't go out and seek this out on its own.
Nice. So that gives you a 3.25. Same with Sam and I. Are you going to lock that in?
Yeah. I'm not going to overthink this. Yeah, I'll lock it in there.
All right, locked. So Ross had a different score than us, obviously. He had the lowest of us, which was a 2.75, which is interesting. Ooh. We had one of our acolytes pop in to say, this was Kate, Tiger Snake Kate. I score this a 4 out of 5. I love this movie, which everyone is aware of because I talk about it a lot. My love for David Fincher is also no secret. I feel like this movie is starting to get a lot more support, which makes me happy. Big hugs to all 5 of you. Thank you, Kate. I always love hanging out in the Discord. That's where the acolytes can put in their, well, that's one of the many places where they can put in. It's up on Patreon as well.
We posted on Patreon too.
So that gives a Chuddle score of 3.1. So this is officially the lowest of Alien movies for us so far. The first 2 came at 5, which also the first 2 came in at a 5 with your guys' score. You guys have this averaged at a 3.2. So we're still very similar in our scores together throughout the Alien franchise, which is fun. It's all sitting there very, very close.
And I like that Alien 3 still gets a positive rating, on the liking it side, because with such a steep drop off from, a 5 to a 3.1 is a big difference. But it's still I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not the level of the first 2.
We have 2 other 3.1s. Land of the Dead, which we have covered all together. And Wishmaster 1.
which we've also covered all together.
The first in the series.
Yeah.
And I stand by that a 3.1 for Wishmaster 1 is not giving it a fair shake.
Think it needs to be higher than Alien 3?
I would argue so. Yeah.
What?
Nice. Well, we have.
I feel like Alien 3, Wishmaster, and Land of the Dead
all feel about right
all
the
about
same
right
place.
for me. Yeah.
So go check out.
Speaking
those.
of my wife of Wishmaster, my wife was watching The Rookie the other night, and the Jin from Wishmaster 4 is like a reoccurring character on there. So when I walked in, I was like, "Oh, it's the Wishmaster! It's the Jin!"
Nice.
So what are you talking about?
Awesome. So that's going to go ahead and conclude the final meeting of Chuddle the Pod, because the Goo Gods have released us. I just got the word. It just came in through the headset. It's official.
Oh, good.
Where are we? Where are we now?
Where are we now? Exactly. Holy crap. We were trapped in a time
Suddenly
loop.
I'm back at what I thought was my home in Florida. This is amazing.
It seems like time, but no time has passed. And, well, maybe we can just get back.
In a time loop. And are we no longer in a time loop?
I think time is moving forward. This is wonderful.
Wow.
This is a very new world.
You
We're
can
back
finally
into the
breathe
normal
fresh
world
air.
with you guys. I know we've been beaming you into the crypt, and it must be really weird.
Yeah.
Going out of time and into
Causes
time.
me
But
tons of headaches.
it was weird for everyone.
Oh, well.
So we're going to go back and just get into our original podcast, Students of Horror. So we were always
Students of Horror.
That's what it was always
Do
supposed
not
to
be
be,
surprised when you see it in your feed.
Yeah. We're excited
We'll
to
still
go.
be doing the same thing though, so please come back.
Yeah, pretty much all
It's
the
the-
same stuff.
It's the same
New
boys.
branding. It's the same boys, just a different polish.
Simplified.
Mhm.
And meant to with all of you in mind to how we could make a better show for everyone,
Program.
for you guys, and programs that we're all happy to do and happy to listen to. If you are enjoying the show, we would love it if you continue to follow along. Still currently as Chuddle the Pod on Instagram and Threads. I'm sure that will be changing to Students of Horror. Students of Horror.
That's right.
You want to see killer tattoo work from Ross? He's still Ross Purvis on Instagram. And depending on when this comes out, if you're in the Central Florida area, hit him up. He is a busy man, but you can get inked by him.
Do it now.
Do it. You can always go
Do
to
it
and
now.
check out his Instagram. He has links to all of his artwork as well, in case you want to order something. You can follow Chuddle Sam, and I'm at the Bird Witch, Bird with a Y, Witch with an I on Letterboxd to track where you're watching in and outside of the crypt. If you want to hang out with us and fellow Chuddlers, join that Discord, become part of the cuddle community.
The cuddle. Yes.
Rebranded it again.
Students of Cuddling. Hang out with us. Discord's still going strong, and we're hanging out with a whole bunch of other people there. Cody and Sergio, thank you so much. I'm so happy it was you two joining us on what is officially the last Chuddle. It was an awesome to have you here with us for this.
It was awesome.
So thank you.
Been on a long Chuddle journey.
Of course.
Can't wait to have you back when we're resurrected
Yeah.
Oh,
as Students of
Now
Horror.
with less goo.
love it. Listen, guys, thank you so much for the Chuddle. What is it? Years now? We've been chuddling.
It's gotta be.
Multiple
Yeah.
years.
Together?
Yeah.
We are so
Yeah.
lucky when you guys reached out to us and we were like, what the fuck is a Chuddle? And
Yeah, exactly.
but the best decision to have hopped on, and so looking forward to the success of Students of Horror.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, guys.
Speaking of success, make sure to check out their
Yes.
YouTube channel, y'all.
Hey, we're uploading semi-constantly now. We're getting there.
Yeah, it's a great stuff. The reactions are fantastic. You're gonna love them.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Remember
I
when we
know
did
all
podcast episodes?
All our host wives. Yeah,
Those are coming back, right?
Yeah, that,
Just
you'll be
around the
coming
corner,
back
right?
soon, right?
Yeah, it's still in the works.
Okay, perfect. Love to hear it. Yeah, check out all the good stuff. As always, the link to all of that gooey goodness is down below. We'll return soon to offer up our very first subject as students of horrors. We're covering Blade, so look out for that. That's going to be fun. And until next time, well, I guess avoid the time loop still, but we're not in that anymore. But this is good advice for you.
Tenacity.